Fine. 30th question, they have given you an equation, it's basically a combustion equation, I'll just mark there that C2H4 plus O2, C2H4 plus O2, CO2 and H2O with energy. That means what happening? While this reaction happen, the energy is releasing out. That means it is an exothermic reaction. The energy goes out. The exothermic reaction. Please remember it. So if you balance it, okay, they have given you this value as 1400 kilojoule. So if you balance it, it's going to be 2, and here it's going to be 2. And if you balance this, is going to be 3, right? So this is how the balanced equation is going to be. Fine. So question: what is the mass of water formed when 1 mole of ethene is subjected? So the same question we did previously. 1 mole is reacting. If 1 mole reacted, how much of water will be out? 2 moles of water will be out. So 2 moles of water, what is the mass of it? They have asked you the mass. So we know that water HO 2 into 1 plus 16 is going to be 18 gram per mole. That means if you take 1 mole, there will be 18 gram. 2 moles means it's going to be 36 gram. The question is, what is the mass? What is the mass will be released? That's going to be the third answer for the 30th question. Right, we'll do the 31 as well with this video, because 30 and 31 are related to each other. So in 31st one, they have asked you which graph is the most correct graph for the above reaction. So here you should remember that when this reaction happen, this amount of energy is released. This amount of energy is it's sent out. So this is an exothermic reaction. So the graph for exothermic reaction will be how the energy of reactants will be high and the energy of products will be less. So here is going to be C2H4 plus 3O2, right? 3O2, and it comes down here CO2 and H2O, right? So this value is going to be 1400 kilojoule, right? So in that case, the answer will be which one? C2H4, second one, right? Second one, because the arrow mark should be down. So the answer is going to be second one. If we go to 32nd question, there is a greater chance for a man swimming in the water with gas bubbles at the base of a water fall to drown. What is the reason? Right here, see. So they have asked you a question. It's basically a complete general idea, right? You should have, if you go for a waterfall, it is high risk to swim or to bath at the place where the water spill. The reason, whenever the water falls here, the first reason, here there are going to be several gas bubbles dissolved in it. When several gas bubbles dissolved in water, the density of water reduces. When the density of water reduces, we know that the upthrust depends on the density of liquid. If the density is less, what could happen? The less upthrust will be exerted on the body, and there is a high possibility the body to be drawn down. So the reason why it is not good to healthier to bath or to swim at the closer to the place where waterfall is less density of the liquid. So here they have asked you that question. So it is basically when you have a very thorough knowledge in upthrust, there you will solve this one. So the answer is going to be for this one is the second answer, decrease in upthrust exerted by water. So why third one is wrong? You might have an argument why third one is wrong, because the statement is given in the question. Okay, the statement is given in the question. They don't require to give you the question and go ask the same thing. Okay, so 30 seconds. Second one is the correct scientific answer. 33rd one, when a sound wave emitted by a loudspeaker when a sound wave emitted by a loudspeaker, what would happen? So here basically let's say that there are sounds loudspeaker. You know, whenever you be closer to the loudspeaker, you can hear the sound louder. Hear the sound louder. But when you go far away, this loudness will be less. Right? Simple argument. Which the sound waves loudness depend on what? The loudness depend on amplitude. It depends on amplitude. So whenever you go far away, the amplitude reduces, not the speed. The speed be constant, not the frequency. When the frequency changes, what happens? The pitch changes. So whenever a person talk in the mic, and you will hear at the distance, far away. No, it's not happening like that. The sound is same. Only the loudness reduces because amplitude reduces. So whenever amplitude reduces, that means the energy is reducing. So in this case, the answer is going to be amplitude reduces or decreases for the fourth one. 34th one. Why is limestone added to the blast furnace during iron extraction? So we have studied about blast furnace and iron extraction. We add coke or coal. We add coal for the blast furnace. I just recall the reactions what's happening in blast furnace. Okay. So here the iron will be, the molten iron will be molten iron, and here is going to be the slag. Right. So what we add is we add calcium carbonate. Okay, we add coke, right? We add Fe2O3. So Fe2O3 might include any other dirt as SiO2, silicon oxide, the soil can be there. So these are very typical things. So the reason why we add carbon to produce carbon dioxide. So when carbon react with oxygen, it produces carbon dioxide. And then also calcium carbonate dissolves and make what? Decompose and they produce calcium oxide with carbon dioxide. Right? So this is one use why we put calcium carbonate, one use. Also when carbon dioxide react again with carbon, it makes CO. It produces what? CO, carbon monoxide. So this is another use of it, right? Here see. So if they ask you why they add carbon, there are two reasons. First, to produce carbon dioxide and also to produce carbon monoxide. If they ask you why they put calcium carbonate, to produce carbon dioxide, and the second reason, this calcium oxide react with balance remain SiO2 and produce KaSiO3. This is a major part. Of this slag. So formation of slag or the removal of waste material also one of the main use why we put calcium carbonate. So calcium carbonate, main two reasons are there, either for the production of carbon dioxide or else we put it for the purpose of reducing or removal of dirt or dust. So here why we add it? The answer is going to be certain impurities in iron ore. So the third one will be the answer for 34th. So 35th they have asked you, it's going for the environmental pollution part, which comes under biosphere, the final unit. So if you take the unit biosphere, it contains about 9 to 10 marks in your O-level paper. So one of the very major unit. Which of the following has the greatest effect on ozone layer depletion? Ozone layer depletion, which one has the highest effect is chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, right? The CFC is released from refrigerators and air conditioners which are used in your old days but not now. So if you look after the fridge now itself, it's marked at CFC free. That means what? It's not harmful for the environment. So CFC is the one of the main gas which involved in ozone layer depletion. So NO2 is responsible for acid rain, CH4 is global warming, CO2 also for global warming. Right, 36th question. What is the true statement about neon 2010? Neon 2010 and sodium 2311. Come on, sodium plus. Come on here, see. Neon 2010, sodium plus 11, 23. So if you go for the number of proton, neutron, electron, here number of proton is how much? 10, neutron is 10, subtract one from another, electron also 10, there is no charge. So if you come here, proton is 11, neutron 12, electron there is a plus, so 11, 1 has reduced, so it's going to be 10. So what is the question? I think so the answer is there, right? How is going to be? The number of electrons in both are equal. So the first one will be the answer for 36th. So we go to the 37th one, which of the following factor affects the pressure exerted by water on the bottom of vessel filled by the water at a certain height, right? So here this question, you know, pressure, hydrostatic pressure depends on what? That's the direct question they have asked you. Hydrostatic pressure equals H rho g. They depend on all these three. First what? The vertical height and the density of liquid and the gravity. So which one is the answer for that? So here see, whenever they give you some equation, they directly say you which depends on what. So don't need to bother about what's happening there. So here the question is directly about that. Volume of water we are not going to consider. Area of bottom no. Shape of the vessel, vertical height of the water column is the answer. 38th one. Which of the following cells are multinucleate? So what about red blood cells? Red blood cells, it has no nucleus. White blood cells, one nucleus. Skeleton muscle, multinucleus, and cardiac muscle, 1 or 2. Sometimes there can be 2 and 1. So the exact answer is going to be for the third one. 39th, in your marking scheme for the 39th, they have given you all answer. They have given you all answer in the marking scheme. The reason, first you should know about what is this evaporation and vaporization, right? Evaporation and vaporization. Right, evaporation and vaporization. In case of evaporation, in case of evaporation, what happened? The water at the surface, boiling and evaporation, boiling and evaporization, right? So boiling and evaporization. In evaporization, only the surface molecules will get into the gaseous state. But while boiling, all the molecules throughout the liquid will get into the vapor form. Will turn into the vapor form, right? Right? Evaporation, only the surface molecules get into the vaporized form. All right. So that is the first equation. Also second one, when we talk about vaporization and boiling, the evaporation depends on the wind, speed of wind. Depends on, so only what you can say? Only surface molecules. Here all molecules. So the temperature will be constant here. Right, at boiling point, for example, if it is water, it's the constant will be 100 degrees Celsius throughout entire boiling completes. But in vaporization, whenever the water vapor goes out, here there will be a decrease in temperature of molecules. So what happened? Temperature reduces while vaporization. And if you consider about boiling depends on atmospheric pressure. It's interesting, right? Whenever the atmospheric pressure reduces, the boiling will be high, the boiling temperature will be reduced. But evaporation, it depends on speed of wind. If it is windy, it evaporate the most. Okay, so these are the differences between, but I was unable to find exact one false answer. That temperature, the first one is definitely wrong, right? The first one is definitely wrong, and the boiling is visible No, even the second one is correct, no issues. Boil, you can see the water bubbles come out. And speed of wind affects the evaporation but not the boiling. Yeah, even that is correct. Temperature of water remain constant during while decreases in evaporation. When we see it from the apparently, first one is the answer. I don't know why people give this all answer for the statement. Might be because it is not there in the book. This part is not exactly defined in the book. So that might be a reason. Also, I was searching for the exact wrong answer why they gave it, but was unable to find it. Okay. So, however, these are the theory what you get to know about in this 39th question. So, we go to 40th question. The aim of shortening the food mile. What is food mile? What is food mile? How far the food comes. From how far the food comes. So, food miles, food, how far, for example, let's say that your lunch table, if you let's consider your lunch table made up of rice and then dal and then a piece of chicken, right? So, the chicken might be from your house, so no, it's going to be 0 kilometer. Rice from Polannaro, let's say, can be from about 70 kilometer. Right, dal from Pakistan, no, Mysore dal is from Pakistan, so it's about how much? 3,500 kilometer. So here simply this gives you the miles. If you put in miles, so this gives you the total mile value, how much the food mile is happening. You study this part in your final unit of grade 11. So here the main reason why we reduce is to minimize the amount of fuel or the energy spent during the transportation. So that's the reason. So the direct theory question, that fourth one. The primary, here see, the primary is what the aim is, minimize the amount of fuel spent through the question. So 40 questions, 40 MCQs. So it's something challenging questions, right? This is how the OLL paper used to be. So in the upcoming videos we will be discussing about the structure and essay part which is going to be. So thank you everyone. So share with your friends. Thank you. That's it.